You're listening to The Sickle, only on WVCU. Lily's Cradle. It's a beautiful mountainside town approximately 15 miles from the nearest city, snuggled in the valley between two towering mountains. The valley itself is nearly flat, surrounded by fields of wild lilies and other plants, with a forest sprawling to the south of the town. It is home to Lily's Cradle's University, and noted by tourists for its inexplicable natural beauty. It is mid-fall. The trees are like a menagerie of red, yellow, and orange, and the first hints of winter's breeze are in the air. One night, 2 police officers are dispatched to answer a mysterious 911 call, which originated from the forest area.
Jeez Louise. Out running around at this time of night, just at the end of my shift, too.
Hey man, we don't have a choice in the matter. To serve and protect, day or night. Am I right?
Pfft, I don't see that second part on the side of the squad car.
It's implied.
Yeah, I suppose. But what are we protecting these people from, anyway? You know as well as me the job is pretty dull here.
It could be something this time. That 911 call was apparently strange, according to the responder.
I never heard about it. I was just shoved out the door by the Sarge to go investigate.
She said it was very difficult to make out. The person on the other end, female we believe, was crying hysterically and screaming. There seemed to be other voices screaming as well. The 911 responder was trying to calm the woman down, but to no avail. The screaming went on until the call dropped.
I don't know. Sounds fishy to me. I'm thinking prank call.
The responder seemed convinced.
I'm not. It's the week right after Halloween. Kids are probably trying to wring out the last bit of scares they possibly can.
Maybe. We do tend to get prank 911 calls during this time. Regardless, better safe than sorry, right?
We're getting paid either way.
Yeah.
Where was the call made from, anyhow?
We traced the cell phone to somewhere near the power plant.
Shouldn't be too long, then. Well, better get the back seat on nice and cozy when we take these pranksters back to the station for wasting police time and resources.
I'm hoping that's the only thing we'll need to worry about.
What? Oh, don't tell me you believe that something's really going on.
Well, as a police officer, I feel that we shouldn't breathe easy until we know that the situation's handled. And that means taking all possibilities into consideration.
Tell me something. How long have you been on the force, officer?
3 years.
Tell me, how many major crimes have you seen, witnessed, or investigated during that time?
None that I know of. Only a few cases of vandalism and shoplifting, maybe a drug bust or two. But that's...
I've been here for 13 years. You want to know how many major crimes that I've investigated?
Shoot.
One murder, nothing else. And it was a domestic violence case that happened probably while you were still in high school.
Yeah. Before I came here, I heard it shook the whole community.
It did. Stuff like that's not too common here. So, forgive my cynicism, but I think this stuff here is a load of crap.
Noted. Well, here we are. So far, the power station's looking normal.
Yep, just hoping it stays that way. Well, what do we have here?
What is it?
Camping equipment. Take a look at that.
Yeah. Backpacks, tent sets, sleeping bags, whole shebang.
These things look untouched as well. Must have dropped them and run.
In a hurry? I wonder why.
Heck, they're probably heard our car coming. That's their cue to continue this little prank of theirs.
If you say so.
Freaking kids.
Looks like we have some tracks here as well. Leads into the woods.
Good. That'll cut down the search time. Man, it is cold out here.
Yep. It's almost that time of year again. Crazy how it gets colder close to winter, eh?
Smart Alec. It's colder than usual for this time of year.
Would you like to sit this one out in the squad car, then?
Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would also prefer this uppity youngster to stop mouthing off to me.
I suppose if the veteran still respected his position as an officer, then...
Who do you think you... What was that?
I don't know. Police!
Man, these kids got us all jumpy now. I swear, I'm personally going to throw these hooligans in the slammer.
Come on. The noise came from this way. Sounded like footsteps. It's so quiet. No nighttime ambience. I don't even think the wind's blowing.
Very unusual this time of year. We were even hearing chattering and stuff beforehand.
Still think the teenagers organized all this?
Possibly. Could be a lucky coincidence for him. Everything's gotta shut up sometime or another.
Too bad you won't.
What was that?
Nothing.
Right. Smart at...
Why don't I go search over there, near that patch of dead trees, and you look around here?
Fine. Whatever gets us out of here the fastest.
You see anything?
Can't say that I... Wait a minute. Hey, we have some tracks over here.
Where?
Here. About a foot from where I'm standing. See? Though these tracks are sort of, strange.
What do you mean? What the? You've gotta be kidding me.
What do you see?
Well, we have what looks like the tracks of more than one human running, judging from the spacing. But amongst them are hoofs. Hoof prints.
Good. I'm not losing it then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they didn't drag a horse all the way back here in the middle of the woods. If you still believe this is a prank.
If it is, it's a pretty freaking good one. For once tonight, I agree with you. What the crap is going on here?
I don't know. The tracks continue down the hill this way. Let's move. Slowing down already, old-timer?
Shut up. I'm fine. Ah, jeez. It's the cold air that's winding me.
Maybe. Maybe laying off the extra donuts might help you stay in shape, huh?
I said can it. I don't even like donuts. I'm telling you, it's the cold air. And you're heaving over there just as much as I am.
You didn't even want to be here in the first place. Stop making excuses and let's... Whoa. Why is the ground spinning? What did I just step on?
Sounded expensive.
It was a cell phone.
Probably the one that made the 911 call. Ah, man, my head hurts.
Mine too. Jeez. What the heck is going on?
Feels like I can barely breathe. Ugh.
Yeah. It's like something's gripping your throat. Wait. Through here. The tracks lead to a clearing.
What are we waiting for, then?
Phew. That feels better. I think my head's clearing up now.
Yeah, I can actually breathe now. Sheesh, what was that?
Again, I don't know. We can talk about this later.
Sarge owes us big time for this crap.
Man, there's something off with the woods here. Can you feel it?
Youngster, you're spooking yourself. Weird crap is happening. And I'm still certain there's a logical explanation for all of this.
What about the horse prints back there? You were on board with me for that. And that area we just passed.
It could have been, heck, magnetic phenomena.
Magnetic phenomena.
I saw something on the Discovery Channel about it. I don't know.
Let's keep following these tracks and just shut up about it then. Looks like we're at the edge of the clearing.
Wait.
What?
Oh no.
What do you see?
Over there, quick!
Jeez! Are those?
Dispatch, this is Officer Williams and Officer Morton. We have a confirmation of bodies 2 miles southwest of the power plant.
How can you even tell? They're practically in pieces.
None are responsive. 2 females and 1 male. Get an ambulance immediately. Their injuries are severe.
Severe? I can't tell who's who. Holy crap. What the heck is going on? Jeez.
Pull yourself together, kid. We need... What's that?
Huh? What the...
Freeze! Police!
Freeze! Remain where you are. Do not move.
We will fire if you move. Remain still. LCPD, freeze! We will shoot.
Do not move. Slowly place any weapons on the ground and your hands on the back of your head.
Do it now or you will be.
Shoot him!
Dispatch, we need backup immediately. We are engaging a hostile suspect. Can't see... Ow! We need backup now!
We'll be right back after these commercial messages. We now return to the Sickle, only on WVCU. 2 days have passed, and in a crowded classroom at Lily's Cradle University, on a beautiful Friday afternoon, a new professor, Donnie Griffin, is giving his first lecture as a full-fledged professor. He is a young man, barely past 30 years in age, and he stands before an audience of generally bored and uninterested freshman college students. And this, my friends, is the foundation of philosophy, the purported love of wisdom, as the original Greek root words translate to. And, I believe that concludes today's festivities. Any questions before you're dismissed? Anyone at all? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm just curious. Throughout your lecture, you mentioned a lot about wisdom and knowledge.
Well, of course, they are some of the founding principles of philosophy.
Right. Well, what would you say the difference is between them? Between wisdom and knowledge?
The difference? That is an interesting question. They are similar, but not exactly the same, eh? Well, this has been something that has not been entirely defined by the scholars, and it's something that, I haven't entirely defined myself. I'll think that one over, and I'll get back to you later, all right?
Fair enough. I was just curious.
Oh, no, it's fine. Keep that curiosity. It's questions like that which will help you learn. All right, foregoing any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Class dismissed. That's right. If any of you have any questions regarding the course or anything you need to speak to me about, then my office is in the Division of Social Sciences, Weston Hall, room 237.
Well, that was an interesting class, Professor Griffin.
What? Who? Oh, Dean Claiborne. You were listening to my lecture?
Yeah, for the last 10 minutes or so. I thought I'd sit in a bit on the latest addition to our family.
What did you...
Now let me tell you what I thought of your performance. Get your papers and walk with me.
Okay, right.
As far as the lecture as a whole, very decent, I would say. Yeah, your knowledge of the material is demonstrable. You seem to be respectful of the students as well.
Well, thank you.
Now, I know that this is your first day of teaching. Taking over as a full-timer on a sudden notice. Might jar you a little bit, I understand. But that little portion there at the end, there are times when a student can stump the most learned professors out there with a single question. I get it.
But
And, I know we all learn all of the time as human beings. But that kind of question was sort of, foundational to your field. And as you said, experts have supposedly been debating about the answer to that question for years. Could you not have at least formed an interpretation or an opinion on the matter?
Well, I don't think...
I mean, were you teaching the students? Or were they teaching you?
Yes,
But I think I'm being too hard on you. Must come with age. You get more cynical, you see. Aside from that last part, from what I saw, I don't have any problems. I did get more word from Professor Moriarty, and I believe that this could be more than just a long-term substitute position for you, Mr. Griffin. She seems set to retire after the sickness hit her a week or so ago. You're the prime candidate for this position, as far as the president is concerned. But I want to see more of what you got. As for the remainder of the day, well, go report for your office hours, and then I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you, Dean Claiborne, I suppose. those office hours are over. I'd see more life go by in a graveyard. Here we go. That was something, all right. Sheesh. Am I teaching the students, or are they teaching me? Well, obviously I'm teaching them. That's what I'm paid for. I have the PhD here. Or, wait. What did the dean even major in? Watch it be, I don't know, ancient Celtic epistemology or something like that. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. I hope I didn't forget anything. Anything that I can't pick up on Monday. Boy. What is the difference between wisdom and knowledge anyhow? I always thought they were more or less interchangeable. Wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, philosophy. A philosophy expert who can even come up with some sort of answer. God. Why did I even go for philosophy anyway? I'm definitely not cut out for this. I need it though. Wouldn't want my parents' money and devotion to go to waste, right? Well, I suppose that's another internal monologue for another day. Home sweet home. Socrates, I'm home. Sleeping all day, huh, boy? I wish I had that luxury. No, rub it in, why don't you? Let's see. What could possibly be on the menu tonight? Ah! What a shock. Special made ramen and potato chips. Be patient. You'll get fed, I promise. You just didn't work all day, so you wait your turn. Oh, snort all you want. You won't be getting food any faster. All right. Well, my stuff is cooking. Come here, Socrates. Ah, perfect timing. Here we go. Ah. Let me go ahead and organize these papers for Monday's lecture. Get this out of my hair. Now, let's see. I'm behind. I wasn't aware that they already covered most of Aristotle and Plato. I suppose it is November. Wasted a lecture for nothing then. Well, next week I guess I'll just have to get back up to speed. I'm still not cut out for this. But the show must go on, as they say. And now for some background noise. And coming up for your local news at 7, police are currently investigating the disappearance of 3 Lily's Cradles teenagers just 2 nights ago. So far, authorities have... The Sickle will return right after a short news break. We now return to The Sickle, only on WVCU. The next day, the Lily's Cradle Police Department is in a crisis of sorts. Many people are darting around the crowded station, the air filled with conversation of what just happened a few nights ago. The police sergeant is hastily walking up from the morgue with 2 fellow police officers, his stress scrawled across his brow as if it was hand-drawn. He warns the 2 officers by his side.
Jeez Louise. The whole town's freaking peaceful and freaking happy-go-lucky one minute, and I can actually get a wink of sleep. And the next minute, some maniac comes out of the stinking woods and butchers 5 people. And the whole police department goes to hell in a handbasket.
What do you expect, Sarge?
Yeah, this is the craziest crap this town has seen in years. You don't think I know that?
No, yeah,
Ah, shut up. I don't have time to be offended. 3 local teenagers and 2 fellow officers. No motive, no suspects. How the crap does this happen?
I don't know. Grim stuff, Sarge.
You bet your underpaid butt it's grim. And if that isn't enough, we have the press breathing down our backs about this.
This is the first murder case in this town in 15 years.
I know. But have you ever tried taking a test in school with that annoying kid in the seat beside you who keeps consistently asking you for the answers to the questions that he's too stinking lazy to do himself?
I guess.
No freaking difference between that and this. I'm trying to keep this as quiet as possible so the town doesn't slip into this proverbial sinkhole as well. But the media's like a big freaking leech, sucking the life out of you, and at the expense of the town's mental stability for the sake of a juicy story.
The town's mental stability?
More so of mine. I'm sorry. I promise I don't hate the press this much, Norman. But I'd rather not have town-wide panic. I want this solved and swept under the rug as quickly and quietly as possible.
We have scant evidence to go off of, Sarge.
Not a lead in sight.
I know. The mortician tells me there's not much to go on as well. Just 5 barely recognizable corpses. Gentlemen, we are in way over our heads on this one.
Seems like it.
And that's why I called in for some outside help.
This early into the investigation?
Yes. This is a town that is just not accustomed to the crimes of this magnitude. This wasn't just a fit of rage or a lapse of judgment. This was premeditated. A cold and hardened criminal who has probably done this kind of thing before and will do it again. We have got to catch this guy, and I'm pulling out all the stops I can to do so.
Who do you call in?
Someone who knows severe crime like the back of his hand. A detective from Chicago.
Who?
He goes by Elmsbrook. He owns his own private firm up there, and he's actually quite famous.
Never heard of him.
You should have. He cracked the Terry Barnett case before he even set up shop.
You're kidding. The assassination conspiracy made against the governor?
Do I look like a kidder, officer?
You'd have to be drunk for that.
Don't think I didn't hear that.
How the crap did you book this guy?
He's almost coming in as a favor. He gave us a massive discount on his usual rate. He wouldn't tell me why. And that's why I want you idiots to be on your best behavior. That means I ought to lock you in a closet, Jimmy.
Don't expect me to come out of it, Sarge.
Exactly what I was talking about. All right. Now shut up. Shut up. Remember, people, we are professionals, even if we operate in a dinky little town. I don't want Detective Elmsbrook thinking that we're a bunch of country bumpkins. He should be here any minute now.
Outside of the station, an upper middle-aged man donned with an orange-brown trench coat steps out of a car. Graying stubble lines his face, but his head is still covered with short, jet-black hair.
Piece of crap rental car. It's a wonder I even got out here. Small little town here. Almost expected to hear banjos on my way in. Lily's Cradle Police Department. This must be the place. No smoking, eh?
Trust me, I'm pretty sure he's the only chance we got in this. And he's here! Welcome to Lily's Cradle, Mr. Elmsbrook. I'm Sergeant Luker.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Let me be the first to thank you for coming down here on such a short notice. As you can see, things are in a bit of disarray here.
Yep. Quite a chicken coop you have running in here.
Yes, and I apologize. Something like this doesn't happen here often at all.
In a place like this, I would hope not. 5 slice and dice murders of this degree isn't too common in Chicago, either.
Ah, good. Then you read the...
Case file? Yeah, gruesome stuff. I saw the case pass by my desk not long before you called, actually.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, we're grateful you decided to take the case.
Seemed urgent enough.
You got that right. Officers, could you two go and fetch some coffee for the detective Elmsbrook and I here? How do you like your coffee, detective?
I don't.
He'll take it black.
Sure, boss.
It takes 2 of us to do this? You want to scrub the toilets in the downstairs bathroom? Heard Officer Swanson was the last one in there. Coffee it is, then. We really don't know how to proceed from here, detective. Some of the other officers are more so trying to laugh this off. Denial that something of this bad just happened, I guess. I don't know. Regardless, they aren't being much help in this. And, even better, the media doesn't know that the teenagers are actually dead. I've been stonewalling those bloodsuckers until I can get some definitive answers.
Lying to the press, eh?
Shh! A necessary fib, too. Word that the police have 5 grisly murders on their hands with absolutely no leads whatsoever will incite town-wide panic. We won't be able to stop them for much longer, especially when the next of kin come knocking.
No leads at all, you say?
Nothing at all.
I don't believe that.
What do you...
Call it a hunch, I guess.
Hunch or not, a forensic team couldn't find anything on the bodies or at the crime scene itself.
Huh. Guess we'll have to start from scratch then.
Start from... Say what?
If they couldn't find anything, they weren't thorough enough.
Detective Elmsbrook, we may not be the most active police station, but our forensics team...
Where's the morgue? I'd like to see a full autopsy report and look at the bodies for myself.
The morgue? Downstairs, just around the corner. Here, I'll take you there immediately.
Sarge?
What? Oh, my coffee. Thank you, officer. Here you go, detective.
Keep it. You guys need it more at this point.
Suit yourself.
Coffee's not the only thing we got for you, Sarge. The mortician just called for you. Said he wanted to speak with you immediately.
Perfect timing. We'll be down there in a second. Well, detective?
After you.
I hope Chicago is hard on your stomach, detective. I don't think the case file could quite do these injuries justice.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages. We now return to the Sickle, only on WVCU. Detective Elmsbrook, the police sergeant, and the mortician are all standing in the dimly lit and eerily cold morgue, only a few feet away from 5 extended body trays. These trays each have a body bag laid across them, all of them partially unzipped. Each footstep seems to echo on forever as the mortician greets the detective.
Ah, you must be Detective Elmsbrook. Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, I just wish it was under better circumstances.
If these were better circumstances, I wouldn't be here. What do you have for us?
Well, here's the official autopsy report. Completed earlier this morning by yours truly. As you can see, the massive injuries that these people have are pre-mortem. Heck, I almost didn't need to make any sort of incision on any of them.
I want to see the bodies.
Certainly.
Still in body bags? Why?
To keep the specimens, intact.
It was an absolute mess trying to sort out who was who.
Are you certain these injuries were pre-mortem?
Certain as 15 years in this career can be.
The killer must have had some sort of blade to accomplish this then.
Our suspicions as well.
But killing all 5 with this degree of bodily injury? With none of the others escaping while our maniac was hacking away on one victim? It doesn't make any sense.
You haven't even seen the half of it. Yeah, these injuries are severe. But that's not the main reason I asked for you and the sergeant to come back down here. Not too long after I finished my report, I realized that I did not perform a cranial autopsy. Suppose I was too concentrated on the other injuries. Ooh. And I almost deemed it unnecessary. But I decided to do it anyhow. And what I found, well, take a look for yourself.
What the?
You gotta be kidding.
Holy crap.
Yeah. In all my years as a mortician, I've never seen a brain injury like this.
It looks like a freaking butterfly steak.
Is this a constant with all 5 victims?
You bet that trench coat of yours it is. Once again, that's not even the best part. Or, worst part.
Jeez. There's more?
Oh yeah. Before I performed the cranial autopsy, there were no previous signs of cranial injury nor penetration of the skull at all. Pre or post-mortem.
That's not possible.
Yet it lies before you, Sarge.
Did a toxicology report uncover anything?
It was pretty much clean. The 2 officers had nothing in their systems, and the 3 teenagers, they had enough Mary J to send them on a bit of a trip, as well as a bit of booze in their system, though not nearly enough for significant brain damage. And there's not a drug known to man that causes full-blown lacerations to the brain.
Ha. And I thought we were deep in it before, but now...
Were there any signs or traces of DNA that did not belong to the victims? Every killer leaves a footprint somewhere.
Apparently this guy is meticulously thorough. No fingerprints, no strands of hair, no blood, nothing.
Starting to see why we called you Elmsbrook?
Yeah. Sergeant, were there any witnesses?
No, not a one.
Something's just not lining up here. Do you know who would have been the last person to see them alive?
Booze had to come from somewhere. We could ask around at the downtown bar, given that's the only place in the town that sells alcohol.
Let's head that way then.
No can do till tomorrow.
Why not?
Apparently the owner and barkeeper went out of town the day after the murders occurred.
That's massively convenient, don't you think?
Suspiciously so, if he hadn't called in before he left.
He called before he left?
Look, detective, we were scratching our heads just as much over this one.
You should have booked him before he had the chance to tuck his tail and run
He would have
off
been at the
then.
top of our list if he wasn't an ear to the ground for us.
He's a mole?
Not exactly. There's no trace of organized crime here, but the few lowlives that we do have tend to congregate in that whiskey-laden hellhole, especially on the weekends.
It's a stinking shame. Can't get a good beer without running into one of those punks.
Do you mind?
Sorry.
Jeez. Anyhow, what was I saying? He's not a mole per se. He's more or less our eyes and ears in that joint whenever an officer isn't there.
I don't give a rip whether he's a mole, rat, snitch, whatever. Until I ask him a few questions, he's my number 1 suspect. What the crap is he doing out of town anyway?
He said that he was having a problem with a distribution company and had to drive quite a ways to resolve it. Said that he would be back by tomorrow. He most likely didn't even realize the murders occurred.
Either that or he's halfway to Cuba by now, giving this little town the finger.
Detective, we know that we need to keep all possibilities open. But unlike in the big city where everyone's practically a stranger, we know this guy. And we wouldn't know of any motives he would have for killing 5 people.
People will surprise you. An older member of the force like you should know that by now.
Yeah, I do, Mr. Elmsbrook. We may be small town folk, and a bit too trusting of our own, but we aren't stupid. We traced where his car came from, and it's where he said he went. He'll be back.
If he's not, then I'm leaving this piss-poor little town with no refund, as well as the rest of my usual rate to make up for wasting my freaking time. I cut you schmucks a deal because I thought this case was important, but if you were thick enough to let a prime suspect slip out of your grasp, then you don't need the help. You're all just freaking incompetent. Look, I'm sorry, but my firm is for people who actually need help that a police force can't do because of red tape and other technical snags. A waste of my time in one place means lives are endangered in others. Do me a favor and don't waste my freaking time.
We wouldn't have called if we truly didn't need the help. We'll see tomorrow whether or not this case will close.
We'll see indeed. What do you propose we do in the meantime?
It's getting late, and the barkeep won't be getting back until tomorrow afternoon. I think tonight we should review the data we do have, and
I want to see the crime scene tomorrow morning.
that can be arranged, Detective. There's also the matter of your living accommodations.
I foresee an all-nighter here. There's more that I want to check out. We can fool with that crap tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. Ellsbrook, where are you going?
Reading these outside. I'll be back.
Suit yourself. We'll be in here.
Well, you'll be in here. Because as of now, my shift is over. You two gonna be looking at the bodies some more?
Leave them out.
Alrighty.
You seem to be in an awful hurry to scoot. You sure you didn't forget anything else on your autopsy report?
You kidding? That verbal blast wasn't even directed at me, and I feel like I was toppled by the aftershock. Have fun with this guy, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Fine. See you tomorrow.
Guess who's going out the back door as well? Sheesh. I can feel the angst all the way from here.
We all know who jumps ship at the first sign of trouble. Poor kids. And Officers Walton and Williams, there is no justification or excuse for this kind of monstrosity. You won't be forgotten by your fellows of the force. Might want to add that to the eulogy.
Outside, Detective Elmsbrook leans against the brick wall of the building in a falling sunlight, his breath appearing to be wisps of smoke.
They can't even determine what kind of blade caused these injuries. Jeez. Not too sure what to think of these hose heads. They act like they've never been trained. Letting a prime suspect go. Man, I better be wrong, otherwise... God, still absolutely nothing to go off. How did they... Dropped my cigarette.
I thought you said you'd quit.
Huh?
Remember?
Remember? Remember what?
You promised.
I don't... Wait, no, we worked this out.
They gave us up brochures at school.
Yeah, sure they did. You aren't really there.
They said it was bad for you.
No, that's enough.
They had pictures.
Shut up.
Those lungs were blacker than the night.
I said shut up.
All wrinkled up. Like big raisins. How could they breathe?
Don't make me say it again.
Can you breathe? Daddy?
I said shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I'm not doing this crap again. Tomorrow, hurry up.
On the other end of town, the young professor, Donnie Griffin, is sitting in his chair, lines of stretch etched across his face as he rifles through his course materials. I've spent the entire day trying to get this stuff together, and for what? One half-planned lecture for Monday and the rest? Pfft, I haven't even thought about that yet. Did I even read these books? I knew I should have read more in undergrad. But who reads in undergrad anyway? Apparently these students. Are you teaching them, or are they teaching you? God. Socrates, be very thankful that you're an animal, and you don't have to do any of this crap. Jeez, look at me. I'm coming unhinged already. Procrastination just might win out here. Maybe relaxing a bit will help me out. I can pick the rest of this up tomorrow. Let's see what's going around town in the most anti-social way as possible. And in other news, to add to the count of those missing earlier this week, 2 unnamed police officers still remain to be found. This story again. The Lily's Cradle Police Department refuses to comment at this time and assures that an official statement will be released sometime in the following week. There is no present indication of foul play. Gracious. I hope they're found and all right. Anyone with knowledge of the whereabouts of the missing persons is encouraged to contact the Lily's Cradle Police Department immediately. Join us again on Friday, February 21st at 10 a.m. for the next installment of The Sickle, only on WVCU.